We're in Way Media.
Hello, twisted humans. Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting? Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alecia. And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked. Hello and welcome to episode 110 of this podcast. You're going to do that every time. Yep. Today I am covering a special topic. We're on special topics still. This is coworker crimes, chosen by our special guest today, Amanda Goodness.
Don't know who that is. She is of Drinking the Koolaid fame.
If you don't know who that is, you're not cool enough.
Ooh, I like that. I'm not cool enough.
We've been podcasting for pretty much the same length of time. I'm sure people have figured it out. You know,
We have. We're like day oneers,
right?
friends.
Right? I know. She's wonderful and supportive and here to talk some nonsense with us. I don't know. Nonsense?
Yes.
Is it nonsense?
This is a nonsense
This was
case.
a hard topic, Amanda. We have a bone to pick.
I'm sorry you
There's
asked
so
me.
many. There's so many cases that are like really dark. And I was like, I
a
cannot.
lot of mass shootings. I'm like, oh God.
Right.
Oh.
Like I didn't want to sit here with a guest and just make you guys like sit in silence, like somber silence the whole time. I was like, I have to find something funny.
Kind of like
it's
I
not
did
that
to
funny,
Amanda
but
and Trevin
It's not awful.
of Live Laugh Larceny when they came on and I did a disappeared case. Disappeared cases are just always sad, okay?
Yeah, they're not usually funny.
No, we're here to
Yeah.
bring it up though. But you had coworker crimes at the ready. Have you been wronged recently at the Cheesecake Factory, Amanda?
I mean, you asked me, I panicked. And, coworkers are crazy. So
It's a true story.
Coworkers are
figured-
crazy.
there's got to be something there.
Yeah.
I panicked.
Well, I am going to admit to you that there is a whole TV show called, let me check my notes. I forget. what
Called coworker crimes.
It's called Revenge Killer Coworkers.
Oh, shit.
shit.
I watched many episodes of that before I found one that I wanted to use.
Oh my gosh.
Of course,
It was
an-
insane.
like when we did catfish crimes, we were talking about catfish. They have a show for
Yeah.
everything now.
They do.
They really do,
really
yeah. They have like killer kids, killer wives, killer everything.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a niche for the special topics. But
Soon to be killer podcasters.
oh my God.
Dun dun.
You know
I'm
what?
waiting for
I'm
it. I'm
sure it's
waiting
gonna
for
happen.
it.
Somebody's gonna snap.
Podcasters have been killed.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
eventually one of them's going to start killing.
That's true. It might be me.
that
Who
would be the
knows?
oh God.
Who knows?
That would be the perfect crime though. Like you cover it, you're making your own stories. and you-
Oh.
But it's like the perfect crime. You're just like, oh, I'm just so sad for this victim. But meanwhile, you did it. So, like,
Yeah. I mean, if you do it, you got to know you're going to get caught unless you flee the country and change your name.
that's true. Dye your hair blonde.
I
It's
feel
a
like
whole
I'm airing
thing.
myself out. Like if I end up doing something right now, it could be a problem.
Well, speaking of
There's a lot of
fleeing and changing your
incriminating
name, that happens in this story.
Ooh.
Oh,
We'll get there.
perfect segue.
But first we have to talk about fun facts.
Yes.
Alecia, do you have a fun fact?
I do. My fun fact was literally just presented to me. So my fun fact is if you're feeling down, just remember that there's a flower called hanging naked men.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
The flower.
That's actually a really pretty flower.
And it's
I
called
can
hanging
see.
naked men.
The legs and the penis.
Totally
It
you
looks like
can.
hanging naked men.
That flower is too pretty
For
to be a
sure.
naked man.
That's a true story.
Listen,
Nobody
It
wants
looks
to
like this.
see. I mean, dicks are not pretty.
They're
know what
not.
I mean?
They're really not.
well, I love that fun fact because my fun fact is kind of similar. I have a picture to show you.
Oh, good.
My fun fact is that a disgruntled stonemason created a gargoyle and positioned it in the direction of the city council building. The council members had commissioned for him to do some stonework, but they never paid him. So this is what he made, pointed at them.
A butthole.
A butthole.
Oh,
And it
no.
really is a hole Look, when it rains,
It comes out. Oh my God.
how gross is that?
That
That's
is
not bad
in
though.
Freiburg, in Germany, I believe. I could be wrong about
it's
that.
pretty epic. I can't lie.
It is. It is.
But
It's
can you
hilarious.
imagine if one of your like condo windows faced that butthole and that's what you had to look at all the time? I'd be so mad.
I mean, give him some money, maybe he'll change it. But
you know what?
that's
I would
fucking
I
amazing.
would lean into it. Be
Yeah,
and
I
out
like it
this
personally.
window, this
Yeah.
butthole that occasionally rains water. Everything's fine here.
I mean, hey,
gross.
don't fucking wrong people if you don't want a butthole pointed at you.
It's a true
You
story.
know,
There you
True
go.
story.
Life
that's
lessons.
the way I see it.
It's a good life lesson.
So as usual here of late, I'm not drinking, but I did make a little mixy thing because it's sangria week. I
Ooh.
have my
Protein water.
protein 2.0 water.
Nice. Same
It's
flavor?
peach mango flavored. I think that's the same as I had last time.
Yes.
But I mix it with tart cherry juice and ginger ale. Nope, not ginger
Oh.
ale. Ginger beer. And it's
Ooh,
really good.
that sounds
It's
really
really
tasty.
sweet because I got that sugar-free ginger beer that has like not sugar but other
Oh,
sweeteners.
the weird one that Jesse
Yeah.
was like, what's wrong with this? Yeah.
Yeah, but the tart cherry juice kind of balances it out. So I like it. What are you drinking, Alecia?
Well, I am stepping in as sangria connoisseur, and it's stressful to find
Sorry.
recipes that we have not done in the last
Yeah.
50 episodes. So Sierra is literally working magic on a daily basis, is what I'm going to say. But I kept it simple. We are drinking our red from last week, which is the Twist of Fate Malbec Merlot. And I've added sliced apples, sliced oranges. It did call for brown sugar, but I skipped that. Orange juice, and you can top it with soda water, but I just topped it with more wine and triple sec.
Can I see
With
it?
more
Pretty
wine.
tasty. It's just a bunch of little fruit slices in here.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Sierra's the one that makes the pretty drinks. I threw this together afterward. Sangria is delicious. Amanda, what are you drinking?
Well, I was planning on making the sangria, but then I accidentally took a 4-hour nap today because
I'm not
I
even
was
mad. That sounds magical.
well, I was real tired after my Jonas Brothers night last night. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah, I get it.
just rub it in.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys. Yes, I saw the Jonas Brothers last night. Alicia
It's
and
also the
Sarah
Jonas
are very
Brothers
jealous.
podcast, so it's fine.
It is. No. Oh, I know. Girl, I know you
A safe
guys.
space.
We're all fangirls here. So I picked up some truly margarita seltzers.
Ooh.
They're actually really good. They're a little sweeter than I would have liked, but they're good. I'm drinking the classic lime margarita, and then I
Yum.
have a backup
Hell
for when
yeah.
I finish it, and I have the watermelon cucumber.
Ooh, that
Oh,
sounds
I
so
love
good.
watermelon and I love cucumber.
Oh, I thought you were going to
Together.
sing Harry Styles. I was going to be like, hi.
I'm upset that that's not where Sierra's head went.
I know. I
I'm
was a little
upset that I
disappointed
didn't
too.
catch
Missed
that.
the opportunity, guys.
Definitely. Okay, well, before we get into the
So
story, we do
cheers.
have to take a quick break to hear from Ye Old Crime podcast, and we'll be right back.
Do you love true crime but are looking for something different?
Do you like learning about cases so off the wall they can't possibly be true?
Do you love history but want to hear about what they didn't teach you in school?
Do you like laughing awkwardly about cases that are bizarre and a little strange?
Then we have the podcast for you. Join me, Lindsay,
And me, Madison, for Ye Old Crime.
where we discuss the funny, strange, and obscure crimes of yesteryear.
Listen every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll see you next time with another tale.
As old as crime.
All right. Courtney Savage and Christina Ladrini met at work in Clearwater, Florida, and quickly became the best of friends, partners in crime, some could say. They worked together at Courtney's lingerie store, and that was about the only thing the two had in common. But as they say, opposites attract.
So Courtney was the boss.
Eventually,
Okay.
Courtney was raised in a home with no father and very little money. She realized early on that money was what she wanted and needed to be happy. She started working multiple jobs while in high school and continued her hard work after she graduated. She worked as a corrections officer for a while, then as a reserve police officer for the Tampa area, but she never made enough money to really thrive until she added a part-time job as a lingerie model and aromatherapist.
This is quite
Christina-
the array of careers,
Yeah.
Right?
from corrections officer to aromatherapist.
And a
Yeah.
lingerie model. Don't forget that.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for her.
Christina was raised in a very family-oriented household where there were lots of kids. She had 4 siblings, and where the parents worked hard to provide for those kids. As an adult, she was a patient care technician who did pretty well. Between her and her husband, it was enough to take care of the 2 of them, her mother-in-law, and her 5 children. Big
Jesus.
household. Her husband, Vincent, wanted to be a business owner, though, and so he had used all of their extra money to open up a little pet shop for himself where he specialized in fish and fish tanks.
I just got
Un-
new fish, so maybe
I saw that.
Yeah,
You get
I
a
got-
lot of fish, and they
No,
always die.
there's a story. I'm interrupting your story. So my brother's girlfriend's dad has African cichlids, and they breeded recently, and they have like 100 babies. And you know what he does with the babies?
Don't.
Yeah. So I took 5 of them because that's all I could fit in my tank. That's the only reason I have them. I was gonna get another beta, but now I have 5 African cichlids, and
they
their
bait
names are
fish?
Pain, Panic, Meg, Hades, and Hercules.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, the pet store business did not last long, and Christina found herself also only surviving, no longer thriving. And she heard about a manager position at a lingerie store.
Only
Ooh la la.
surviving, not thriving. Wow.
Somebody needs to
Nice,
put
huh?
that on a t-shirt
Yeah.
immediately.
That I felt that, you know?
At first, it was meant to be only a part-time gig as the manager at a lingerie store, but it paid so well that she was able to make it full-time to lighten her load. This is where she and Courtney first met. The store that they worked in was owned by Kristen and her boyfriend, Donald, who were a little shady, but they had a good business going. In the front, it was a bit of a sex shop,
Never
lingerie.
trust a Donald. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. The sex shop was like lingerie, aromatherapy candles, things like that. Not too,
Not like massive dildos.
out there. Right. You
Okay.
can't get like a blow up doll.
Mm.
But
Good to know.
in the back of the shop, that was for modeling the lingerie and aromatherapy treatments.
Ooh la
Oh.
la.
I don't know what else they do in the back. I don't know if they model the lingerie in
do they
person
put
for
curtains
men.
in the front windows because something shady's going on if that's what's
Right.
happening.
What I do know is that they did a sort of massage with aromatherapy candles, and that the modeling portion of the business made the most money, and that all of it was completely legal.
Okay.
All right.
The modeling in the back is what Courtney did most, and she quickly realized that she could make even more money if she owned a store herself and didn't have to split her modeling pay with the owners of the store. So Courtney opened her own lingerie store and hired her new friend and coworker, Christina, to help her manage it.
The drama.
Things were going great for the 2 friends and business associates. Business was booming and money was rolling in, but during this time, Courtney started to have health problems, specifically in her mouth, which I hate. I hate teeth problems. It grosses me out. creeps me
Okay.
out.
You needed to
Teeth scare me.
clarify beyond just in her mouth, probably.
Yeah, I
it's
was
her
like,
teeth. Her teeth were Not good.
We have a
The
lingerie
enamel-
store. We have fancy things going in the back. My brain was putting things
I
together.
think
that shouldn't be.
I think my brain was going exactly where your brain was going. Like,
The enamel on her teeth was deteriorating.
Oh no.
She wanted to have surgery to get her entire mouth replaced. In America, it was hard to get approved. And at the time, it would have been about $50,000.
How does one get their mouth replaced?
Like
I mean,
veneers?
it's your teeth. Yeah. You get all of them taken out and
Okay.
new ones screwed in.
Dude, if
I'm like-
I was rich, immediately I would
too.
do that.
Really?
Me and my
They're
dad-
always too white and too big.
You get to choose your color.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you could
Okay.
make them yellow if you want.
Me and my
Like
dad have a
normal looking?
pact. Me and my dad have a pact that if either of us ever win the lottery, we'll pay for the other person to have their whole mouth replaced, because I have really bad teeth genetically and it's from him. He has really bad teeth. But a big baller over here just got his top teeth done.
Ugh, I'm so
And
jealous.
yeah, and that's how I know you can pick the color, because they chose a shade that was whiter
man
than his
Has
bad teeth, but
abs
not completely white.
and new teeth. What is he doing?
I
Your
know.
dad? Your dad's hot?
He just turned 50 and he has started going to the gym, and it's weird. It's weirding me out.
Feel free to send me photos. Just for reference, you know what I mean?
I don't know if I still have them. Let me check.
Anyways, Sierra.
Anyways,
Take it away.
$50,000 in America. But Courtney found a place in Mexico where she could get it done for just $6,000.
Perfect.
That's what she did.
What
That
could
seems
go
more
wrong?
affordable. Yeah.
She was thrilled, but quickly began to regret it. She got really sick after her mouth surgery.
Did
She
get
had
an
body
infection?
pains
Oh,
and
no.
ulcers in her mouth,
Ugh.
anxiety attacks and seizures. Every time she went to see a doctor about her issues, they'd give her pain pills or antidepressants, not really knowing what was going on. Courtney believed that she had metal poisoning, though, from the tooth implants, because when you get new teeth, they screw them in.
Yeah. They like make your
No.
teeth all like thin and sharp. Ugh,
Like
gross.
pokey. Yeah.
Can we just make a
Um,
blanket statement that if surgery is affordable, you probably shouldn't do it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Like, that's the sad truth.
It is sad, but is it worth
Yeah.
whatever is happening to this poor woman? No.
No.
Absolutely the fuck not.
The science on metal poisoning at the time was not highly studied, so the doctors didn't really know what to do for the cause except treat the symptoms. And she soon became addicted to those pills. After a while, the business was starting to fall apart. Courtney wasn't able to come in anymore and actually run the business side of things. And so Christina was picking up the slack where she could, but it wasn't her business. And there were some decisions she wasn't allowed to make. Courtney being so sick was harder and harder to get a hold of by phone. And eventually, the property owner where the business was told Christina that the lease at the shop was being terminated and they had to shut down. Christina did not know what to do about the situation. The building where the business was run was right next to a bar and grill, and the bar and grill owner made the landlord a big offer to extend their space into the lingerie store. If Courtney wanted to fight the landlord over the lease of the space, she would have to do it herself, but Christina couldn't get a hold of her because she was so sick. Christina just had to forfeit the place, and she and her coworkers cleaned out and left.
No.
But Christina, needing to provide for her family, had to act fast to get another stream of income going. She quickly decided to open another shop in another available location and bring most of those employees over with her. This one would be in her name, her own business. But she would soon learn that someone out there was very upset about her being the local competition. On July 10th, 2006, in the early morning hours while Christina was still at work, someone smashed the glass of her store windows. The police were called to assess the damage and ensure there were no burglars. It seemed to be just an act of vandalizing, maybe just some teens up to no good. But while the police were at the store taking the report, another call came in. There was a shooting. at Christina's house.
No.
Oh no.
Someone had shot up her family van while it sat in the driveway with 4 or 5 bullets. Christina thought that it had to be a coincidence. She couldn't think of any enemies that would want to harm her. And since there were no gunshots in the store, there were 2 separate methods of destruction used.
She really
2
thought
separate-
that was a coincidence.
2 separate acts of violence that had nothing to do with Christina except that she had terrible luck.
If that was me, I would literally be like, all right, let me think of all the people that hate me.
As the morning went on and the police investigated both scenes, finding no bullet casings or fingerprints, trying to ensure that there was no relation, Christina got a phone call that she sent a voicemail as she was, working with the police. But when she listened back to it, she thought it might help. She had no idea who was on the other end of the call. It was a blocked number and a distorted voice, maybe that of a man. The caller left a message saying that this act, the shooting, was on behalf of their client. And next time, there would be no warning shots.
Ew.
Oh.
But nowhere in the message did the caller say what they wanted from Christina. She didn't know how to ensure that there wouldn't be a next time.
Well, that's not very fair.
Right? Like, what am I supposed to do? What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Right?
She needs to know what she's doing wrong.
Exactly.
Why am I being shot at? Basic human right question. Okay?
Yeah. Can you just give me a hint, please?
For a few days, the police stayed nearby the home to help Christina feel safer, but she had to get back to work and back to her normal life.
No.
And nothing at the time seemed to be upsetting the caller since nothing further was happening.
Ew.
But then, a month later, on August 9th, her home was shot at again.
No, sir.
No one was hurt, and all the bullets once again stayed outside the home. But this time, the police sent Christina and her family to stay at a hotel so that they could be safe while the police did a more thorough investigation.
And Christina's the one with the really big family, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Police interviewed the employees at the lingerie shop that she owned, and the only names that came up as a possibility for this crime were Christina's old employers, Kristen and Donald, from where she first joined the lingerie business. Kristen and Donald were both known to be heavy drinkers and possible drug users. Kristen had a reputation for threatening employees who left her business and found work elsewhere, and Donald had a reputation for being a tough guy who carried a gun with him everywhere he went.
Oh, definitely never trust a Donald. I stand by this statement.
What about Donald Duck?
He
Ooh.
wears no pants.
You're right.
And the confusing part is, why does he put a towel around himself when he gets out of the shower when he wears no pants regularly? Okay, it's a whole thing.
Don't question him. How dare you?
What's the other duck? Daffy Duck. That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah,
of.
Daffy Duck is arguably the better of the two
Well,
ducks.
Daffy's
I
fully
mean,
nude.
He's
the
Yeah,
nudist.
he is.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's leaning into his duck birthright.
Yeah. Being that the distorted voice in the message sounded like a man's, one of the coworkers said it could have been Donald's, but the number couldn't be traced to them or to anyone. It was just a burner phone. The police got another lead, though, when a convenience store owner near Christina's shop said that 2 people in his store on the night of the vandalism matched the descriptions of Kristen and Donald, and they were seen driving a vehicle with busted out back windows. So, I don't know, maybe they were shooting from inside their car.
Maybe.
I don't know why
Maybe
your own windows would be busted out.
It's nighttime.
maybe
in this room also.
it's someone else.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Police tried to find these 2 for weeks, talking to friends and family members of theirs, but everyone claimed to not know where they were. In reality, they assumed they were probably just tipped off by one of those friends or family members that the police were looking for them, so they ran. Now that the police had a good idea of who they were looking for and had an inkling that they would be staying away from the area and in hiding for a while, they advised Christina that she could go back home, but to install cameras outside of the home to catch anyone in the act of stalking or staking out the place, in case the shoot came back to harass her about the business. This way, with video proof, she could press charges at least for that act until they could find a way to prove that the shootings happened by these suspects. Kristen and Donald were finally tracked down by the police in a courthouse where they had been summoned for a completely unrelated case.
What?
And there, right? And there, the police brought them in for questioning. Both requested a lawyer right away and refused to speak about the incident.
Smart.
Without more evidence, the police couldn't hold them on anything.
Very smart.
Twisted and Uncorked will be right back. If you prefer not to listen to ad breaks, head on over to patreon.com/twistedanduncorked for more information on receiving ad-free episodes.
Just a few days after talking to Kristen and Donald, the police get another call from Christina. Her home was shot at again, but this time it was much more serious. 6 gunshots rang through her home while everyone was still asleep. Each shot was delivered directly into the center of a bedroom or family space, as if the shooter knew exactly where everyone would be sleeping. The TV was hit. The mirror above the baby's bed was hit. The wall near her mother-in-law's oxygen tank was hit, which could have caused an explosion if it were just
hit
a
the
few
tank,
inches
yeah.
closer.
I'm sorry. Why the
No.
fuck would you want to kill the kids and like the people that are not even involved?
Luckily, the only injury was a scratch on the baby's arm caused by the glass mirror falling and cutting her when it fell.
Oh,
Just a
funny.
scratch, no stitches or anything. And fortunately, this time, Christina had a video camera recording everything that took place outside of her home.
Oh
Yes.
shit.
Always
But
have
when she-
surveillance cameras. Just saying.
Mhm. I have one that's just like sitting on my porch because I don't have it in like a good spot. And every time Jesse comes in the house, he's like, "Will you please just buy a Ring doorbell? That looks trashy." And I'm like, "I'm recording people, okay?" It
And they're
needs
like-
to be there.
Whoever tries to break into your home is like, oh, look at this random camera.
Yeah,
Knock
they don't have shit.
down.
Well, but I'll see them do it, okay? I know who knocks it.
I thought you were going to say that Jesse makes like a face every time he walks into
No, he is embarrassed by my little tiny camera that's just
Listen.
randomly sitting there.
Listen, it works. Just get
It
some of that
works.
like double-sided sticky stuff and tape it up somewhere.
It's
That stuff's
really
strong.
dusty in Alabama. Nothing sticks to anything. There's dirt everywhere all the time.
It's all that peanut dust. Yeah, fair
It
enough.
is. When Christina played back the video, what she saw was not at all what she expected to find.
No,
The video,
I'm scared now after what we were
Oh my
just
God.
talking about.
he screamed and it scared me.
No.
And the video is dark and kind of grainy, but you can see a light-colored SUV pull up to the house. A female figure gets out, aims directly at the house, and with the stance of a police officer, fires 6 shots. Then you see the woman turn, and the streetlight creates a glare on her head where sunglasses are perched. And she walks away, back into the vehicle, with a very unique and memorable stride. Christina knew as soon as she saw the video exactly who had just shot at her house. It was her best friend, Courtney.
Over
That
a fucking
bitch.
lingerie store. Like, can we please remember where this started?
After
You
the
went to
police-
Mexico to get your $6,000 teeth. That's on you. Okay. God.
After the police checked out the information at the local rental car company and determined which vehicle Courtney had rented was the same one on the video, they were determined to arrest her. But
Idiot.
they wanted to get just a bit more proof to determine her intentions, so they told Christina to call her friend and ask, like, what the fuck is happening?
Like point blank. Just
Like
be
point
like,
blank?
what'd
That
you do?
seems
Like,
like endangering
what'd
the
you do?
victim here. Okay.
like, do you have
This is just
something
a
you want
phone
to
call.
tell me?
Courtney told Christina on the phone that she was never there. She didn't know what she was talking about. But Christina pressed her for more information. Christina said something to her like, "I know it was you. I'll do whatever you want. Just tell me what I have to do to make the shooting stop." and Courtney said, "You owe me $2,000. Christina asked, "If I give you $2,000 tonight, will that make the shootings stop?" And Courtney said, "It's a start."
You were gonna kill a baby over $2,000?
$2,000.
Admitting to being able to stop the shootings gave police what they needed to prove to a court that she was admitting to doing or at least controlling the shootings.
I'm so mad.
And so when Christina told Courtney where to meet her that night to hand over the money, the police were staked outside. Is that how you say that? Like staked outside?
It doesn't seem right.
My computer did not like that I
I
wrote
feel
that,
like
but
it
I was like,
seems-
I don't know how to write it.
Yeah,
That seems
'cause
right
it's
to
like the
me.
plural of a stakeout, so that
Yeah,
would
staked out.
Out. Okay.
Sounds right to
The
me.
But your
police were
computer is wrong in our
outside.
jury. So
It
Yeah,
gave me a blue
we're
line.
real smart, so listen to us, you know?
It gave me that blue line that was like, "This is grammatically incorrect." And I was like, well, I don't know the correct way. So leave me alone.
And neither do we.
When she pulled up, Courtney, they swarmed her car and were forced to tase her as she reached for her glove compartment where a gun was stashed.
No,
What a dumbass.
balls to the walls
However,
here.
When she got into the interrogation room, she was all cool, calm, and collected. As I said much earlier, she was a police officer before. She knew how these things worked.
Hmm.
She told police that, yes, she shot into the vehicle and into the home. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. She shot into the vehicle knowing no one was in it. She shot into the home knowing that everyone was asleep. She had been in the home before. She knew the layout. And she claimed to know that her aim was good enough to scare but not hurt anyone.
Sorry, I don't really think that that's an argument in this, ma'am.
Also,
Her-
you hurt the baby.
Yeah,
You did hurt the baby.
and an inch closer, you
intention-
could have caused an explosion. Your aim's
Yeah.
not that good, lady.
Her intention, she said, was always to scare Christina the way that she felt scared when she learned that her business was going under while she sat at home sick and unable to do anything about it
Oh, my
after she had
God.
left it to Christina to watch over.
Not a good
She
enough
claimed-
reason to start shooting.
Well, did Christina like say anything like, "Hey, I'm gonna like do this, and when you get better, we're gonna figure something out," or she just
Christina
Did it.
Christina says it's two girls, okay? She says this, she says that. Christina says she literally had not talked to Courtney in weeks. Every time she called her, she never answered.
oh
Couldn't talk to her at all. Courtney said that she never tried to get a hold of her. She just ruined her business and left.
Mm,
mm.
mm.
I'm gonna
She
believe
said
the
that-
one that didn't try to shoot at
Kill
the house.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like the more mentally sound of the two.
Yeah,
for sure.
not the no enamel bitch over here. Fuck her.
Courtney claimed that Christina ruined her business probably on purpose so she could open her own, and that she never should have trusted Christina to run it or to even be her friend.
Oh,
Courtney was a good talker, but while she was admitting these things, officers were going through her belongings and finding things like directions on how to create silencers for guns, gloves and masks,
Oh, that's
and
no
more
good.
bigger guns and other weapons.
2 questions.
Looking
Do people
back-
not know what the dark net is? And 2, do you not know how to erase your internet history? Like, this is always the thing that goes through
No,
my
it was
mind.
paper. It was paper directions.
Oh,
found it at her house.
Worse.
Yes, paper directions.
Even worse. Okay.
You could burn that shit, okay?
Right. Looking back, professionals see sociopathic behavior in Courtney's interview and her behavior
You
surrounding the
think?
situation. Her family, however, claim that what they saw was an overly medicated, sick, and probably temporarily insane version of the Courtney that they knew. They thought that the illness, the metal poisoning, which is sometimes referred to as Mad Hatter's disease,
Okay.
was the cause, as its symptoms include irritability, changes in mood, poor mental function, difficulty sleeping, memory changes, and personality changes, among the other things like seizures. When Courtney admitted to the criminal activity she was accused of, she did so because she was being charged with firing a weapon into an occupied dwelling. Conviction for this in the instance that no one is hurt is usually a few months of jail time and a few years of probation. However, Police quickly began talking about using the location of the bullets in this last shooting to prove that she intended to kill a person in that home with each bullet she fired. They were changing the charges to 6 counts of attempted murder.
Oh,
Good.
spicy.
Instead of the few months she would have been in prison, Courtney was now facing multiple life sentences, and she needed to get out.
I kind of agree with this though, because gun lesson number 1 from Sierra: never point your gun at something you don't intend to kill.
Shoot, but yeah.
Well, yeah. She was pointing her gun in directions where she did not intend to, but she was
Yeah.
going to.
Literally for $2,000. Like, get out of here.
Right. While Courtney was sick, she and her husband began having difficulties in their marriage. So, from jail, she called him and asked him to process their divorce papers and buy her out of their house. With the money she received from giving him the home, she posted her own bail and made a run for it.
Oh, shit.
Don't be
Courtney,
suspicious. Don't be
Not being
suspicious.
able to learn from her mistakes, went to Mexico, where she got plastic surgery.
No.
No.
Alecia, in the drive, there's a photo of her before and after. Will you screen share? Because my computer will have a fit if I do.
Oh no. Yes, I will. I'm scared.
So she literally changed her face.
She had a brow lift, an eye job, a nose job, and a chin contour.
Ooh.
Ma'am.
So the left is
Okay.
before and the right is after.
Okay, but she was pretty before.
I feel
I
like
mean,
it's
she's
not
pretty
that
after,
much
too.
different.
It's not that much different.
So what did
Haven't
she
you
pay
learned
for in this?
from going
Yeah.
to Mexico that they don't do good work.
Like,
Like
I
that's
feel
how
like,
you're in this predicament.
yeah, you could still be like, no, this is you.
Yeah, because to me it just looks like somebody like
Grew
with
up.
a different lighting and their
Yeah.
face slightly different. Like it's not even
I can see the nose job, but that's like
Yeah,
it, really.
Yeah.
I could see the chin a tiny bit. Her chin looks smaller, like closer to her lips in the after than in the
Yeah.
before. Which, by the way, I have no idea how you do a chin job.
I don't
Yeah,
either,
that
but
is
it sounds
weird.
Contour is
horrifying.
what they called it.
I mean, I don't like my nose or my chin, but I'm not willing to do that.
I'm not willing to
Very
undergo
strange.
surgery for literally anything.
Yeah.
So after all of her surgery, she went to an unassuming town in Oklahoma and started to live her new life as a bartender, where she got paid under the table with a new job.
She probably got paid a shit ton under the table as a bartender.
Yeah, well, in Oklahoma, maybe not.
Nick, what's the bar life like in Oklahoma? Let us know.
I would say not good. After a year of searching for her, the police were getting annoyed with not being able to capture this woman who used to be one of them, a police officer. So they put Courtney Savage on America's Most Wanted.
Oh no.
Shit.
Yeah. It seems a little like a stretch, right?
It does. And this keeps taking turns that I'm not expecting.
Yeah.
It does feel like-
Most Wanted?
It does feel like that
She's
should
not a
only
mass
be
murderer.
for yeah.
Well, she's an
Right.
attempted
She
mass
didn't even
murderer.
kill anybody.
Yeah. I mean, listen, she's not a great person.
Yeah.
But
But I don't know
not
about-
worthy of those resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels like those resources could have been put to better use.
Yeah, it does, huh?
Well, as soon as the episode aired, they instantly had tips coming in about her location.
Stop.
She was arrested 2 days later and extradited back to Florida. The 6 counts of attempted murder, plus now evading arrest for a year, made her looking at 108 years in prison.
Oh my gosh.
Instead, Courtney decided to take a plea deal. On April 15th of 2009, she pleaded guilty to 6 counts of attempted murder in the second degree, criminal mischief, and obstructing or resisting officers. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison with 10 years of probation afterwards. This is mostly the full story, but I wanted to ask you guys, before I tell you the end bit, kind of what you think, because some people say that 20 years for shooting into a home and not hurting anyone is very extreme. Some people say that just locking her up and not giving her counseling and medication she clearly needs is harsh. But what do you guys think? A lot of people are saying the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a little much for what happened. Also, I don't really know how to feel about I don't know, it's so complicated because if she was under a lot of like medication and drugs and everyone said it changed her personality and now she's not on them, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
20 years feels like a lot.
It does feel like a lot. We always talk about how people who attempt to murder someone and just don't do it should probably get longer sentences than people. Like, you're just a bad murderer.
Right.
But in this case, I really don't know if she was planning to kill them or if she was just not in her right mind. I don't know.
I believe that that's what happened, that she was not in her right mind. She didn't intend it, but still you need to know the implications of pointing a gun anywhere.
Yeah.
And
No, that's true.
Like you said, if it had been an inch closer, that
Or
whole
if
house
anybody
could have
had
blown
gotten up to pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have
Exactly.
killed
Yeah, you may
somebody.
know the layout, but you don't know what these people are going to be doing every second of the day.
I do
Yeah.
think
Again, for $2,000.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I do think her intention was just to scare
To
her,
scare
but she
them, yeah.
just went about it the complete wrong way,
Fucked up way.
obviously. I mean, a phone call would have been better. Like, hey, girl, what are you doing? Why did you do this
Right.
and make a new business? Am I involved? Like, that probably would have solved some things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Like,
definitely.
what she did was shitty for sure, but not worth murder.
I would have say, maybe instead of prison, even just going away to some sort of
Mental
a
health
retreat,
sitch.
where she
Yeah.
could get some help. That I think that would have been way more.
Reevaluate what makes you this angry.
Yeah, I
Take
think that
those
would be
teeth
way more
out, maybe.
effective.
Yeah. Some people said that if she never ran, like that's why they were so mad, because she ran. If she never would have ran, then maybe they wouldn't have actually charged her with all
Well,
of
then
that.
that
or
just sounds
something,
like
but
cops being petty.
assholes.
Yeah.
Petty
So-
assholes.
Oh, you ran from us? You're America's Most Wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Like,
Totally.
gosh.
Not the best use
so-
of those resources, guys.
What I wanted to add here is Courtney Savage has been on like every crime show you can think of.
Really?
I watched her on Vengeance Killer Coworkers, on I Almost Got Away with It, and on Women
Googling this
Behind
bitch.
Bars. But she's also been on Snapped and a few others.
Oh,
When I watched her-
okay, maybe I saw it on Snapped then.
When I watched her on the first one, I felt really bad and thought that she definitely had that Mad Hatter's disease and needed medical attention. And then by the third one, I got really fucking tired of listening to her talk. Maybe she's just living out her motto from childhood, making money at any and all opportunity that comes her way. To me, she was starting to sound really narcissistic and sociopathic.
But yeah,
I
because she's in
pulled a
prison and she's
quote.
not getting help.
That's true.
Prison makes you
Good
worse.
point, Amanda. Yeah.
It's not reform, that's for sure.
And that
I
is
pulled
the
a quote
biggest
from-
argument on our fucking show is the fact
it's
that that's
fucking
not what's
bullshit.
happening is reform. Never
Yeah.
happens. No. Just
I
lock
pulled a
you
quote from
away.
one of the episodes. I think it was on I Almost Got Away with It, but I could be wrong. She was talking about how she knows now that money isn't everything. But then in the same episode also said that she has no remorse because no one was hurt. How can she be remorseful? And then someone asked, well, what
Well,
about the
what's it gonna
kids?
take somebody actually dying to be remorseful?
Someone said, well, what about the kids? And she said, quote, yeah, I feel guilty that I scared the children, but as far as Christina is concerned, I don't think it's anything in comparison to what she put me through. End quote.
Yikes.
Sounds like
So,
they
like-
never had a discussion about the situation still.
What did she put you
The
through?
photos are
she's
pretty
so
fucked up though.
confused.
Like if you go on Oxygen's website for that episode of Snapped, which was episode 23, like fucked. Like She still caused
of the
serious
house and stuff?
damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
what I'm
I mean,
saying.
she
Like,
shot up the place.
she definitely committed a crime,
Ooh.
Yeah.
but I
But
do
why?
believe in this scenario, she should have just went somewhere to get help instead of
Yeah.
Agreed.
being locked up.
And the picture
at
of
least been
her in
evaluated
her
for it.
police
Yeah.
uniform is super haunting. We'll say that as well. Those are the people that are supposed to protect you, not shoot up your house over $2,000.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
dude,
weird.
I'm poor as fuck and I would not commit a crime for $2,000.
Yeah. It's not enough. It's really not.
Yeah, please. Don't
Last
do
week
that,
we
Amanda.
talked about the Domino's pizza murders, and that guy
Yeah.
killed them for what, $1,300?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Fucking
worth
insane.
it.
Yeah, man. You gotta
No.
listen to part 1 of your listener
Special
choice.
topic here. Yeah.
Coworker crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like
It's a
even more than
mess.
coworker crimes. This was like best friend crime.
I
Yeah.
know.
Ooh, good future special topic idea. Best friend crimes. Putting a pin
Best
in
friend crimes.
that. Sierra already knows what's coming of that.
I do.
I was
I
like,
have
I
one
could,
that pops into my head
one
immediately.
popped
Skylar
into my
Neese.
head. 2 pops into my head, actually.
Oh gosh. Now I need to know.
What's yours?
Well, Slender Man.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. That's a good
And
one.
then the other one where
Skylar
they killed
Neese.
the best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Skylar Neese. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that popped into my head was Candy and Betty.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one that
We've been talking about
um,
doing that one.
what's her
so.
name just played. Yeah.
I already covered
Oh,
Skylar Neese,
Candy.
so
Yeah.
Yeah,
put
Candy.
off. Can't go
Yeah.
back to that one.
That's crazy though. I can't believe they never like spoke.
I
about it.
know. They just never talked again.
Yeah,
And
like
in a
I would
lot
be
of
like,
these shows that she's done since then, in the Killer Coworkers one, Christina is in it, but in all the other ones, Christina's like back turned, like you can't see her face. She's like, I'm too scared that she's gonna find me. Like she doesn't want to be seen even. Like,
Fucked up.
you must not have been that great of friends.
yeah.
It's so weird.
Because if Cassidy did that to me, I'd be like, well, first of all, before shooting up my house, she would call me and be like,
Right.
what the fuck, bitch? And then I'd be like, dude, I wanted you involved in this. Like, no,
Yeah.
don't worry, girl. You know, like no harm, no foul. Don't
So
worry.
Yeah.
if your house is shot up later, we're gonna have to question Cassidy.
I mean, listen, she would be someone that I would not want to cross.
Sorry, girl. Person of interest. We're coming for you. So, moral of the story, guys: don't fucking shoot up your best friend's house.
Yeah.
Moral of the story: communication. Okay. Listen,
Communication.
it starts with making a fucking butthole gargoyle.
You know, that would have been better. Make a butthole gargoyle that points directly at the lingerie shop. Like that would have solved all your problems.
I actually
Yeah.
think that would have benefited sales, considering what.
Good.
Possibly.
Yep. You're
Possibly.
right. You're right.
It's a good thing to look at
But
while you're in
You
there.
any
dirty little girl.
any other establishment, though, Amanda is right. Just point a butthole gargoyle at there.
Yeah.
The moral of the story: don't shoot butthole gargoyle.
That's the name of this episode.
There you go.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Gross.
Great episode, though, S.
Yeah,
Seriously.
that was awesome.
Thanks.
Round of applause.
I like how you
Yeah.
call her S. It's like
Oh.
XOXO, Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do it.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us, though. You know, you're a welcome guest on the show anytime. And
Thank
for
you.
people that have been living under a rock, where can they find Drinking the Koolaid?
You can find us on all platforms, Drinking the Koolaid with a K. And on Instagram, Drinking the Koolaid Pod, and on Twitter, Drink the Koolaid Pod.
And we will see you guys next Tuesday for our serial episode. We are restarting this all over again. You know what that means. We are doing the teacup murders. That's all I will
Ooh.
say. a listener suggestion. Thank you so much. And go rate, review, and subscribe. It's the best way to spread the word, and it makes our black hearts all warm and fuzzy. We also have our Patreon page if you feel so inclined, where donations start at $1 a month. And check out
That's
our
a
website
steal.
for
Go join.
yeah, as a patron herself.
Yeah, I am.
And definitely go and check out Drinking the Koolaid. And in the meantime,
Keep it
Keep
twisted.
it twisted.
I ruined your outro.
No, it was perfect. Twisted and Uncorked is a proud member of Weirding Way Media. Hosted and produced by Sierra Zorn and Alecia Watson. If you like the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening now. It really is the best way to spread the word. You can check out all things Twisted on our website, twistedanduncorked.com, and we will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode.